what we're going to do is we're going to practice these four vocabulary words and phrases that we learned from chapter 49. But we're going to focus on pronunciation, intonation, and accentuation. So now's your chance to improve your accent if that's what you want to do. Okay, Pachu, are you familiar with the first phrase, to be acquainted with something? Have you seen that before?
Yes, yes.
What does that mean?
Miss familiar, fam, yeah, familiar.
To be familiar with something. So maybe you just know it a little bit, not a lot, right?
Yes.
Can you read the example sentence that we have for that word?
Okay. I am acquainted with basic coding, but I'm not an expert.
Okay. All right. Now, if we look at the first four words, how would you say that?
I'm acquainted with
All right. And what is the most important word, do you think, in that phrase? I am acquainted with.
acquainted.
Acquainted. And where's all the power in that word?
Ac- acquainted.
Quain.
Qua,
Quain. That's that. Now that's the sound that you
quain,
have a problem with. So it's not quan. It's quain. Great. Quain.
quain,
Yeah,
quain,
that's right. That's good. That's the way it should sound. Quain. All right.
quain,
So that's
quain,
yeah. That's really important sound in this phrase. So it's important that we pronounce it very clearly. Quain.
quain,
How will you say
quain.
how will you say those four words together like it's one word?
I, I'm quained with.
I'm I'm say
I'm,
I'm
I'm, ac-
I'm acquaint
I'm,
acquainted with. I'm acquainted with.
I'm, I am, I am acquainted with.
I'm acquainted with. Make quain bigger.
I, I'm acquainted
Ma.
with.
You got to say
I
ma.
am acquainted with.
Ma. You have to say ma. Not I'm acquainted. You have to say I'm ma acquainted. Ma. I'm acquainted with.
I, I'm, I'm acquainted with. I'm acquainted with.
All right. What are the next two words?
The basic coding
Okay, basic coding. In that phrase, which word do you think is most important? Basic or coding?
is a basic,
Yeah, that's
basic.
because usually the adjectives are more important or get more emphasis than the noun that they describe. Which syllable will get all of the energy in that word? Basic.
Is a ba- basic first. Basic,
The first one.
basic.
The first one. Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm
first one. Basic.
I'm acquainted with basic coding.
I'm acquainted with basic coding.
Okay. Now, what about the next one, two? Well, let's do the whole thing. What do you think is the most important word in that final phrase?
So expert,
Okay. Now, is it expert or expert? Which one is correct?
expert,
Yeah. So,
expert.
where's the accent? Where's all the power in that word?
As opposed to
Yeah.
the
Yeah. It's not
expert,
the second. It's not the second. It's not expert, but expert. Expert. Expert.
expert. I usually did this on second syllable.
Yeah.
So
You have to
it
change.
is my. I have to change. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
expert is
Yeah, because
expert.
that's
Yeah,
one of the big things about that's one of the big problems. If people don't understand you, that and vowel sounds will
yeah,
probably be the reason. So
yes. Big,
go ahead.
yeah. So just I am thinking that if in a speech, if our audience is not understanding, then this is not their fault. This is my fault because I have to make them understandable. Yeah, this is my job.
Yes,
So yeah, I have to do my
but if they don't understand you, probably the reason is the vowel sound or the vowel length or the accent where you're
yes,
using the accent.
yes, yes. Accent. Yeah, accent is
Very,
yes,
very, very important. You can do everything else right, but if you get the accent wrong, if you put the power on the wrong syllable, it will be very hard to understand sometimes.
yeah,
Okay, how will you say
yes.
"but I'm not an" like it's one word?
M- but I am not an expert.
But I'm
But
but
I
I'm
am
but I'm not
uh,
an. But I'm not an. But I'm not an. But I'm not an.
but I am not
Say
not an.
say ba.
But I am not an.
Say ba. Say ba.
Ba
Say
ba.
but I'm but I'm.
But
Say
I'm
say but I'm nah. But I'm nah.
but I'm no. But I'm no.
Say but I'm not an.
But I'm not in. Not in.
But I'm not an expert.
But I'm not an expert.
That's right. So I'm acquainted with basic coding, but I'm not an expert.
I am acquainted with basic coding, but I'm not an expert.
But I'm not an.
Not.
But I'm not an. But I'm not an expert.
But I am not an expert.
Okay.
But I am not an expert.
How many phrases can we divide this sentence into?
So two.
What are the two phrases?
So I am acquainted with basic coding.
Okay. But I'm not
Yeah.
an expert.
And the next and the second is but I am not an expert.
Okay.
Not an expert.
Not an expert. Not an expert. Not an expert. All right.
But uh,
Go ahead.
but not an expert.
hmm Okay. Now, with
Mm.
the first phrase, I'm acquainted with basic coding. How would you like this to sound? Do you want it to sound serious or would you like it to sound friendly and nice?
As a serious.
Serious?
Serious.
Serious.
Yeah.
Serious. Okay. So,
Serious.
so we're going to we'll finish our phrase in a low tone, but we'll also want to keep low tones because that sounds more serious if you talk in a low tone. So this is basic coding. Basic coding.
Yes. Basic coding.
But how will you
Basic
start
coding.
how will you start the phrase?
As a high tone.
Okay.
Acquainted.
Acquainted.
I was
Acquainted.
I was acquainted. I was sorry.
I'm
I
acquainted
am acquainted.
with
I am I am acquainted with basic coding.
okay, I'm acquainted with basic coding.
I am acquainted with basic coding.
Okay. And how will you like the next phrase to sound? Do you want that to sound serious or nice and friendly?
Yeah, is serious. Serious.
So you're being very serious today, Pachu. All right. So we'll say expert. Expert. We'll finish with a very low. Just keep it flat and low. Expert. Okay.
Expert. Expert.
But how will we start the phrase?
is a high tone,
Oh,
is a but but I am not not an expert.
but I'm not an expert. Oh, I did that high. But I'm not an expert.
But I am not an expert.
I'm acquainted with basic coding, but I'm not an expert. Oh, I did high again. I keep doing it. But I'm not an expert.
Okay. I am acquainted with basic coding, but I am not an expert.
Okay. Expert or expert, which one?
Expert.
Yeah, don't add too much tone to that. You can if you want, but that doesn't sound very natural to do that. Okay.
Okay, so expert.
All right. Let's make a question. Let's see. Can you make a what you acquainted with question? What you
What what I- what I am acquainted with.
use the word you. What you acquainted with, like you're
What?
asking someone.
Okay. So what are you acquainted with?
Okay. What is the most important word in that question? What are you acquainted with?
Is a what?
Okay.
Is a
So
what?
if it's important, how does it sound?
So what are you acquainted with?
Let's just take it step by step. So we have what because it's important. Let's make it big. What? What?
What?
How does it sound if
What?
what plus R plus you?
What? What are you? What are
What?
you?
What are you? What are you? What are you?
What are you? What are you? What are you?
What are you acquainted with?
What do you? What are you acquainted with?
What are you acquainted with?
What are you acquainted with?
Okay. What is the answer?
I am acquainted with basic coding.
I'm a I'm acquainted with basic coding.
I'm acquainted with basic coding.
I'm acquainted with basic coding. Okay. Let's move on to our.
I am acquainted with.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am acquainted with basic coding.
I'm acquainted with basic coding. All right. Let's move on to our next word today. Frigid. Do you know that word, frigid?
Uh,
Like refrigerator?
yeah, refrigerator. Yes.
So, what is a refrigerator? What happens in a refrigerator?
Yeah, we cool food items.
Uh huh.
Yeah, in refrigerator.
That fridge. That word fridge means cold. That
Fridge. Okay. Fridge.
so to be frigid
Yeah.
means to have cold emotions, to be unfriendly, to not be very nice.
Unfriendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, enemy. Enemy.
Well, no, because there's a difference between being frigid and being actively unkind, right? So, uh, listen to the two different ways I say hello. Hello, Pachu. Does that sound nice and enthusiastic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what about this one? Hi, Pachu. How does that sound? Does that sound friendly?
Not. I have friend and not very active.
Yeah,
Yeah, happy.
yeah. Not very happy. I'm not really happy to see you, am I?
Yes.
I'm being frigid. I'm being cold.
Yes.
Does that make sense? It doesn't really mean I'm your enemy. Maybe I'm just unhappy. Maybe I like you, but I'm just not happy today.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense? Do you understand what
Yes.
that means to be frigid?
Yes. Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see the example sentence? What does it say?
Okay. Her free. Her frigid reply made it clear she didn't want to talk to me.
Okay, let's take a look at the first three words of that sentence. Can you read them?
Her frigid reply
Okay, which in that word, which is the most important word in that phrase?
is frigid.
Okay, and where is the accent on that word? Is it the first syllable or the second syllable?
Frigid. Free.
Frit.
Frigid.
Okay, so what that means is you must pronounce the vowel sound longer, especially because look, we have j. That's a sound that you eat. J, j.
Mm,
So this
mm.
means that the vowel sound must be really long, but you're giving them equal
Yes.
time, which makes it difficult to understand because it's not fidget.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Frigid.
Frigid. Frigid.
Frigid. So
Yes.
for two reasons, that vowel sound must be longer. One, because of the j sound that automatically will make it
Yes.
longer,
Yeah.
but also it's the accented syllable.
Yeah.
Frigid. Frigid.
Frigid.
Hmm. Can you
Frigid.
can you say her frigid reply?
Or a frigid reply.
Frigid reply.
Or frigid reply.
Okay. Now the next three words. Which word?
Made it clear.
Yeah, not med.
Yeah.
Made. Great. Made.
Okay. Made it clear. Made it clear.
Got to pronounce e in the final part. Made. Made.
Made.
That's
Made.
better. Made. You've got to use your tongue. Your tongue kind of goes up. Made.
Okay. So made. Made.
Her-
Yeah, made.
Now in that phrase, made it clear, what words do you think we should emphasize?
So clear.
Yeah, made it clear.
Made it clear. Is
Made
it clear?
made it clear. Okay, so we have.
Ma-
Go ahead.
made it clear.
Made it clear.
Made it made it clear.
Her frigid reply made it clear.
Her frigid reply made it clear.
Not mad. Made. You've got to pull your tongue up when you do that. Made.
Okay. Made
Made. Okay,
made.
her frigid reply made it clear. Uh,
Her frigid replied made it clear.
let's see. She didn't want to talk to me. Now, in that final part, she didn't want to talk to me. This is difficult for me too. I'm trying to think which word we should emphasize. I'm not sure. I I know which word I would pick, but I don't know why. But what do you think? Which word would you emphasize? Let's see if you're in.
As a talk,
Go ahead.
talk,
Yeah, me too.
talk.
I think
Yeah.
talk is the special word here. So let's
Yes.
let's make that big. All right. So how will you pronounce she didn't want to? How does that sound? If those are not important words, how do they sound?
So she didn't want to.
Okay. Well, but in conversational English, a lot of times, that's very good. That would be a good way to pronounce it. But in conversational English, she didn't wanna. She didn't wanna. She didn't want.
Okay. So yeah, I also want to say wanna
Uh,
gonna. No,
bad. It's
I
bad.
generally
It's really bad English, but that's how everybody talks, including me.
yes,
She didn't
okay.
wanna. She
So
didn't wanna.
she she did wanna.
Did
She
did
did wanna.
It's very okay. Okay, in North America, we don't like to pronounce T's at the end of words, so I'm saying
Yes. Yeah.
didn't, didn't.
She didn't wanna.
So that n is very important because it's the only way that I know that it's negative. So it's important that you pronounce that n clearly. She didn't wanna.
She didn't wanna.
Uh-huh. She didn't want. Now in the UK they would pronounce the T probably, and they would say she didn't want to. She didn't want to.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so leave T because we do not need this. Yeah,
As long as you have the N, you don't need the T. So we don't say that.
yeah.
She didn't want to
Oh,
talk to me.
she didn't wanna talk to me.
Her frigid reply made it clear. She didn't want to talk to me.
Her frigid reply made it clear. Made it made it clear.
Hmm.
She didn't wanna to talk to me.
Reply made it. Reply made it. Reply made it.
Reply made it.
Made it. Reply made it. Reply made it.
Reply made it.
Her frigid reply made it clear.
Her frigid replied made it clear.
She didn't want to talk to me.
She she didn't wanna talk to me.
Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay, how many phrases could you divide this sentence into?
So her frigid reply made it clear. Yeah, the first.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
And next is she. She didn't wanna talk to me.
all right. Now, how many? If we look at the first phrase, her frigid reply made it clear. How would you like this to sound? Do you want it to sound serious or nice and friendly?
So yeah, is this serious?
Serious. Okay, so we'll just make this completely blue. We'll finish completely low. Okay, but how
Mm.
will our phrase start?
Is it frigid is high tone.
Yeah, because
Frigid.
you normally will start your phrase in a high tone. So her frigid reply made it clear.
Her frigid reply made it clear.
Okay. And in the second phrase, how would you like that to sound? Would you like it to sound nice and friendly, or would you like it to sound serious?
So make it uh, a friendly.
Friendly? Okay. So in that case, what we'll want to do is start the word talk. You know, we'll start high. We'll start our phrase high, or we'll start the end of it high. But we do have to finish it low because normally a phrase will finish low. So this would be talk, talk to me.
Talk to me.
Okay.
Talk to me.
She didn't want to talk to me.
She didn't wanna talk to me.
Her frigid reply made it clear. She didn't want to talk to me.
Her frigid reply made it clear. She didn't wanna talk to me.
Talk to me or talk to me. Which one is better?
I just talk to me. Talk to
You're
me.
saying talk to me, you're going up at the end, but that's not very typical of an English phrase. You probably will want to finish low.
Yeah. Okay. So, uh, talk to me.
Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Her frigid reply made it clear. She didn't want to talk to me.
Her frigid reply made it clear. She didn't wanna talk to me.
Okay. Pachu, can you make a why she didn't want to talk to me? How will you make that question?
Why did she not want to talk to me?
Okay. You're saying, why did she not say it again?
Why did she not want to? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Why did she not want to talk to me?
Okay. And this is perfectly fine. You could make this is a negative question, and sometimes people
Yeah.
use making a negative question. Why did she not want to talk to me? Okay, and that's okay. This,
Yeah,
this does sound a little bit formal to say it like this. Most of the time, what you will do is you will make the contraction and then you'll put that in the front. Why didn't she want
yeah.
to talk?
Why didn't
Uh huh.
she not sorry. Why didn't she want to talk to me?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
more typical.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with what you said. Why did she not want to talk to me? That sounds a little bit formal. Most people would say it the second way. Why didn't she?
So I think the first is in the book style, and the
Yeah,
book is
true.
book language. Yeah.
That's true. But most of the time, that's not how people will say it.
Yeah.
They'll say the second one. Why
Yeah.
didn't she want to talk to
Yes, second.
me? Now,
Why didn't she want to talk to me? Yeah.
in that question, why didn't she want to talk to me? What what would you say is the most important word?
It's a why.
Why?
Why?
So, how will you
Yeah.
pronounce why? If it's a very important word, how should you pronounce it?
So why why didn't
hmm But
why didn't she
but if it's important, instead of saying why, you probably would want to say why. Make it big.
okay, why?
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 How will you say why plus didn't plus she?
Why didn't she? Why didn't she?
Why didn't she? Why didn't she? Why didn't she?
Why didn't she? Why didn't she?
Why didn't she want to talk to me?
Why didn't she want to talk to me?
Okay, tell me the reason is because she was having a bad day.
Uh, or is how to say her frigid reply made it clear or
But no, give me a different answer. She was having a bad
okay.
day like that. She because have bad day. How will you say that?
She had bad day.
She didn't want to talk to me because she was having a bad day.
Yeah. She didn't want to talk to me because she she had a
She
bad day.
she was having a bad day.
And she was having a bad day.
She gave me a frigid reply because she was having a bad day.
She gave me frigid reply because
hmm
she was having a bad day.
She gave me a
She gave me a
she gave me a frigid reply because she was having a bad day.
she gave me a frigid reply because she was bad day.
She was having a bad day. hmm
She was having a bad day.
Okay. All right. Mohammed's here. Hello, Mohammed. We missed you. You can join us if you want. We're still practicing two words. We've got two words left. So if you want to join us in Discord, you're welcome to. First, I'm going to take a 1 minute break and I'll be right back. Okay. But the next thing we'll practice will be drag on, and we'll talk about that when I return. Okay, but let me just put my be right back screen on. Okay, I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, we're back. And
Okay,
let's
sir.
see, we've got Mohammed here now. Hello, Mohammed. How are you doing today? Uh oh.
Hello, Professor.
Okay. Can you hear me all right? I just got a weird notification about my microphone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you. How are you today?
I'm fine. Let's see. Okay, our next word is drag on. What happened? My examples have disappeared. Okay. Well, let me fix this. Okay. Pachu, do you remember what that means? Drag on?
Yes, yes.
What does it mean?
So dragon in conflict or something.
Drag on is when
Oh,
something is continuing for a long time. It's getting very boring and you're suffering through it. You don't like it. It's lasting for too long.
yeah. Suppose yes, yeah.
All right. Have you seen that before, Mohammed? The phrasal verb drag on?
I thought drag is when you drag someone in fight. That's when it's familiar to me in this context. When you drag someone from his clothes.
Oh, like this. Okay. Yes. Let me just show you. Let's review this for a minute because it's pretty useful. So the picture that I was showing earlier is this one. I think this is a very good example. Let me just bring this up. So Mohammed, can you see the animation that I have up on the screen right now?
Yes,
Is
yes,
that what you meant?
yes,
Yeah, dragging. Okay, if you just have the verb drag, it's a very useful verb, actually. It means pulling something heavy. That's really
okay,
what drag means. It means like, because if something is not heavy, you can put it in your arms and you can carry it. But if it's too big or too heavy, you have to pull it like this, right? Do you understand?
yes, yes,
That's drag. That's just the verb drag. But we're talking about a phrasal verb, drag on. And a phrasal verb is almost always different from the original verb. Okay, there's something special or different about it. So drag on is completely different from drag. Drag on means something is lasting a long time and it's very boring. You're suffering through it. You're suffering through the time, through its duration. Does that make sense?
yes, yes.
So, Mohammed, can you read the example sentence that I have up on the screen? What does it say?
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
What does that mean? The movie dragged on.
It was a boring movie,
Very boring movie
so
lasting a long, long time. Too long. Too long.
yes,
Okay, so the meaning is pretty clear.
yes, it's clear.
Oh, what do you think about the meaning of drag on? Would you say that it's abstract or literal?
Abstract.
It is abstract. You're right. And when you have an abstract meaning for a phrasal verb, you put all the emphasis on the verb. So how will you pronounce those two words together, dragged and on?
Dragged on.
Dragged on. Dragged on.
Drag, dragged on.
Okay. So that's the word that we'll emphasize. We'll put all these words together and we'll say the movie dragged on.
The movie dragged on.
Pachu, can you say that? The movie dragged on.
The movie dragged on.
The movie dragged on. Pachu, what are the
The
next?
movie dragged on
That's right. What are the next four words in that sentence?
so long that I.
Okay. Now, in that phrase, so long that what would you say is the most important word?
Uh, so
You're right. So it's not so, it's so.
so
So.
so
So. All right. So now what we have is the movie dragged on so long that
the movie dragged on so long that I.
the movie dragged on so long that say it again.
The movie dragged on so long that I.
Okay, Mohammed, can you say that? The movie dragged on so long that
The movie dragged on so long that
Okay, that so long that
so long that
Okay.
I
Now, Mohammed, the final three words. What are the final three words of that phrase?
almost fell asleep.
What would you suppose is the most important word in that phrase?
Asleep.
Well, if you have an adjective or an adverb, it will probably be the adjective or the adverb. Do you see any adjectives or adverbs in that phrase?
Uh, almost.
Almost, almost. So let's make that the most important word. Which syllable will get all of the special attention?
Almost.
Yeah, but which syllable gets all of the attention?
Almost. First syllable.
Almost asleep.
Sorry. So,
Hello.
so, sorry, Mohammed, I was writing a message. But so which syllable can we emphasize? All or most? Which one?
First syllable. Almost.
Almost, the first syllable.
First syllable.
That's right, the first syllable. So we have almost fell asleep. Almost fell asleep. Can you say that, Mohammed? Almost fell asleep.
Almost fell asleep.
Okay. So the movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
Okay, great. Pachu, can you say the whole phrase, the whole sentence?
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fall asleep.
Fall or fell?
As a fell asleep.
Fell asleep. Say it again.
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
That I almost fell asleep.
That I almost fell asleep.
Okay. Mohammed, can you say that again? Just one more time.
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
Mohammed, how many phrases can you divide that sentence into?
Two phrases.
Okay,
First one will end at long.
okay. And the second phrase is that I almost fell asleep. All right. Now, how Mohammed, how would you like to sound in this sentence? Would you like to sound serious or happy?
Uh, happy.
Happy? Okay. So, how will you say the final two words in that phrase?
With high voice.
Okay, we'll start high, but we'll finish low because most phrases end low. So we'll have to change this to low. So this will be so long, so long,
So, so long.
so long, so long. Pachu, can
So
you?
long.
Oh wait, okay, wait. Let's. But how will we start the phrase?
Me or Bachu.
You, Mohammed. Sorry, I got confused.
Uh, uh, Hi.
Hi. Okay, so we'll say the movie dragged on so long.
The movie dragged on so long.
Okay, Pachu, can you say that phrase? The movie dragged on so long.
The movie dragged on so long.
Okay. And Pachu, how will you want the next phrase to sound? Would you like that to sound serious or happy and nice and friendly?
So make it happy.
Okay, you want to sound happy? So we'll do let's do this. Let's make this high for the happiness, but we always want to finish our phrase low. So
Yes.
fell asleep. Fell asleep.
Fell asleep.
Fell,
Fell asleep.
fell asleep. Fell asleep. Okay.
Fell asleep.
And how will we start the
Uh,
phrase? Will we start it high or low?
is high.
Mm-hmm.
High.
All right. Because most phrases will start high. That I almost fell asleep.
That I almost fell asleep.
Yeah, you know what? This gets high all the way to the end almost. So let me.
Yes, yes. Some people also saying that I
Mm.
am going high at the end.
Yeah, but here we want to be high at the end, but we still have to finish low. So fell asleep. Fell asleep.
Fell asleep.
That I almost fell asleep.
That I almost fell asleep.
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
Mohammed, can you say that? That I almost fell asleep.
That I almost fell asleep.
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
The movie dragged on so long that I almost fell asleep.
Okay. Uh, Mohammed, can you make a why movie drag on so long question?
Uh,
Why movie drag on so long? How will you make a question?
why did the movie drag on so long?
The movie or the movie?
The movie.
Okay. Make the question again.
Why did the movie drag on so long?
Okay. Why did the movie drag on so long? Okay. And what is the most important word in that question?
The question mark.
Why?
The question
Why? Right?
why? Yes,
Okay.
yes,
How
yes.
will you pronounce why plus did plus the?
Why did
Why did the? Why did the? Why did the?
why did
Why did the movie drag on so long?
why did the movie drag so long?
Not drag. Drag is something different. You have to say drag on. You have to use both words.
Why did the movie drag on so long?
Why did the movie drag on so long?
Why did the movie drag on so long?
Pachu, can you make that question?
Why did the movie drag on so long?
Okay, you made a mistake in your question. Can you try again?
Sorry. Why did the movie drag on so long?
Why did the movie drag on so long? Okay, let's say the answer is because it was boring. How will you answer that? The movie drag on because boring. Say everything.
The movie dragged on so long because of boring.
Because it was boring.
Because it was boring.
Because it was. Because it was.
Because it was
Because it was.
boring.
Where's the accent in that phrase? Because it was.
Because
Because.
because
And then it was is nothing. Because it was.
because it was
Be-
because it was
Because it was boring.
because it was boring.
The movie dragged on so long because it was boring.
The movie dragged on so so long because it was boring.
Mohammed, why did the movie drag on so long?
Because it was boring.
Because it was boring.
Because it was boring.
The movie dragged on so long because it was boring.
The movie dragged on so long because it was boring.
Okay, all right. Pachu, have you seen this word
Yeah,
before? Let's move on to the next, our final vocabulary word for today, which is
yeah.
cornered. Have you seen that before? To be cornered?
Is corner means, yeah, we I know corner. Yeah, is just a narrow place at the in the room. Yeah.
Yeah, well, corner is a place in a room. But to be cornered means here's a picture. Wait, let me find a here's a picture. It means to be trapped. So if you're in a corner, you have nowhere to run. You're trapped. You're in danger. You're in a bad situation. Can you see the
Okay.
picture
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
screen?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Are they dogs or
Th-
rabbits?
those are cats. Those are cats.
Cats.
The cats are cornering the dog. Poor dog. Like
Yes.
Muhammad, have you seen that word before? Cornered.
It's like the word, I will write it in the chat.
Okay.
It has the same,
Busted. No,
they are,
busted means that you somebody catches you doing something bad, like the police. The police catch you doing something bad and now you're in trouble. But being cornered means you have nowhere to run, nowhere to escape.
yes,
Do you understand the idea to be trapped? It's like being trapped.
trapped, yes.
Trapped. It's a pretty common word actually, to be cornered. You have nowhere to run. There's nowhere to go. You're in trouble. Okay, let's go back to the exercise here. All right. Pachu, can you read the example sentence?
Okay. The okay. The politician was cornered by the reporters asking tough questions.
So can you imagine that? So the politician has nowhere to run. There are reporters everywhere and they're asking him questions and he can't avoid them. Does that make sense? How we're using
Yes.
trapped.
Yes.
Do you
Yeah.
understand that? Do you understand the idea, Muhammad?
Yes. I see a
Yes,
yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So he's in trouble and he can't run anywhere. He's got to answer the questions. Okay. Pachu, what are the first four words of that sentence?
The politician was cornered.
hmm Now, in that phrase, the politician was cornered. What would you say would be the most important word?
Is cornered.
Okay. All right, so we'll make that big. Which syllable will get the emphasis? Coronered. Which syllable has all of the emphasis?
The corn,
Core.
corn.
Okay, so that becomes very big here, and everything else is very
Yeah,
small. The politician,
small.
maybe also politician. I think we should also emphasize the word politician here.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes. Obviously, yes.
in that word politician, where's the accent? Politician. That's four syllables. Where's the accent? Politician.
So, politician, tician,
Tish.
tian,
Tish. Ti. Titian. Titian. Titian.
tisan. Okay,
Mhm.
tisan, tic.
Hmm.
Okay,
The
tisan.
politician was cornered.
The politician was cornered.
You should whistle. Try to whistle a little bit more when you say shin.
Okay, so the politician was cornered.
The politician was cornered.
Chan. The poli- the politician the politician was corned.
Cor-
Corned.
cornered.
And
Cornered.
the politician was cornered.
Mm-hmm. Mohammed, can you say that phrase? The politician was cornered.
The politician was cornered.
Now, in the next part, Mohammed, by reporters, which is the important word?
Reporters
Okay, reporters. And which syllable in that word has the most power?
or
Poor. Okay. All right. So now what we have is the politician was cornered by reporters.
politician was cornered by reporters.
Mm-hmm. The politician was cornered by reporters.
The politician was cornered by reporters.
Pachu, can you say the whole phrase?
The politician was cornered by reporters.
The politician was cornered by reporters. Okay. Now in the
The,
final,
polit-
go ahead to say it again.
the politician was cornered by reporters.
Okay. And then the final three words that we have, asking tough
Is
questions.
as
Go ahead.
yeah. Is asking tough questions.
What do you think is the most important word in that phrase?
Is a top,
Yeah, because
top,
usually if you
top.
have an adjective or an adverb, that will be your important word usually in a neutral sentence.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
how will you say those three words together?
Asking tough questions.
Okay.
Asking tough question.
Asking tough questions. You can make the vowel sound longer. Asking tough questions.
Asking tough question. Tough question.
Mm-hmm. The politician was cornered by reporters asking tough questions.
The politician was cornered by reporters asking tough
Okay. Mohammed, can you say the
questions.
final three words? Asking tough questions.
Asking asking tough questions.
Asking tough questions.
Asking tough questions.
The politician was cornered by reporters asking tough questions.
The politician was cornered by reporters asking tough questions.
Okay. Mohammed, how many phrases can we divide this sentence into?
Two
Two? What are the two phrases?
and the politician was cornered by reporters. First phrase.
Okay.
Second one is asking tough questions.
And how would you like the first phrase to sound? Would you like it to sound nice and friendly, or would you like it to sound serious?
Nice and friendly.
Nice and friendly? Okay. So how will we finish our phrase? Will we finish how will we say this final word?
With Starting high and end low.
That's right. We end low because phrases normally will end low, but we want to add some high sounds to it so that it sounds nicer. Reporters.
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 Okay. And how will we start the phrase?
High.
High? Okay. Because normally a phrase will start high. So the politician was cornered by reporters.
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 Pachu, can you say that phrase? The politician was cornered by reporters.
The the politician was cornered by reporters.
Reporters or reporters? Go down a little bit when you say the end of the phrase.
Okay, so reporters,
Report reporters.
re, reporters,
Reporters.
reporters.
The politician was cornered by reporters.
The politician was cornered by reporters.
Okay. Pachu, the final phrase, asking tough questions. How will you like this to sound?
Ask
Hmm.
so make it happy.
Happy? You want it to sound happy? Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's do this. We'll start high with asking. We'll make tough high. And then when we get to
Yes.
questions, oh, what just happened? When we get to questions, we'll make that low because we want to end our phrase low. Asking
Yes.
tough questions. Maybe we'll even make some of this high. Questions. We'll divide
Okay.
that word into high low. Questions.
Yeah. Asking tough question.
The politician was cornered by reporters asking tough questions.
The politician was cornered by the reporters asking tough question.
Okay. Mohammed, can you say the whole phrase?
The politician was cornered by reporters asking tough questions.
Okay. Uh, Pachu, let's see. Pachu, can you make a what kind of questions question? So, what kind of questions reporters asking?
What kind of question? What kind of questions the reporters were asking?
Well, you have to use the question form. That was not a
Okay,
question. Yeah,
what kind of questions were the reporters asking for?
that's right. So you have to use the question form if you're asking a question. Okay.
Yes.
What kind of questions were the reporters asking? Do it again. Say it again.
What kind of questions were the reporters asking?
Okay. What is the most important word in your question, do you think?
Is what?
Well,
What kind?
if you have a simple question, then yes. What color is the house? But this is a more
Uh,
complicated question. This is what kind of. What kind
what kind of?
what is the important word in that question?
Is what kind?
Hmm. Just kind. What kind of? What kind of?
What kind of?
Mm.
What kind of?
What kind of questions?
What kind of questions?
What kind of questions were the reporters asking?
What kind of questions were reporters asking for?
Okay. There's really no for here. You don't need the
Yeah.
preposition for. It's not in the original sentence. You could use the word for, but I think that that means more like request, and I don't think that they were making requests. Ask for is to request something. That would mean like,
Oh,
if you imagine the situation, the reporter's questioning a politician. Here he is in the corner, and all of the people with the microphones, right? Can you imagine that?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
but a
yeah.
request, so that's like direct asking, right? But asking for, that would be like maybe filling out a form. Please answer the following questions, and then handing the politician the form, right? It's a little bit different,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, got it. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you make the question again? What kind of questions were the reporters asking?
So what what kind of questions the were the reporters asking?
Mohammed, can you make that question? How will you make the whole question?
What kind of questions were reporters are asking?
Okay, now in our first phrase, what kind of questions? What are the important words?
What
Uh, well, in a simple sentence, you would use what? Like, uh, what time is it? That's a very simple sentence, just with what. But this is a what kind of question. Which word do you hear is most important? What kind of?
kind of?
Yeah, kind. What kind of?
Can I say kinda?
Yes, you can. And the reason you can do that is because of is not an important word. And we have a tendency to throw away words that are not important. So if of is not important, it could be pronounced What kinda?
Okay, what kind of?
Right, that's the question you were asking, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And also questions I think could be important. What kind of questions?
What kind of questions
Uh-huh.
were the reporters are asking?
Now, in the second part, were the reporters asking which words are important?
Asking.
Okay, and reporters, I think, also could be important. So, how will you pronounce the word reporters? What kind of questions were the reporters?
What kind of questions were reporters
Okay,
were asking?
what kind of questions were the reporters asking?
What kind of questions were reporters were asking?
Were the reporters asking? So, it seems like you're a little bit confused. So, let me just write this, okay? The reporters were asking. This is the statement form. And were the reporters asking is the question form. Which form should we use in this situation? Should we use
Where the statement?
the statement form? Oh, no, we're asking a question, so we have to use the question form. We're not giving information, we're asking for information, so we have to use the question form. Were the report
We will have two questions. The first question is what, and the second will start by where?
No, actually, it's only one question. Here, let me show you a simple example. How about what can we do really quickly? Uh, let's see. What time is the movie? This is a question. What time is the movie? Oh, wait. Let's do like this. What time does the movie start? We'll do it like that. And he doesn't know what time the movie starts. Don't confuse question words with question form. You see here in the first example, what time does the movie start? That's a question. But number two,
Yes.
it includes that word what time, but that's not a question. That's you're telling me something, right? You're giving me information. You're not asking for information. Do you agree?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, in our example, I forgot the question that we were doing.
What's the politician were
Well,
uh,
What kind of questions were the
yeah.
reporters asking?
So, what kind of questions? That's not necessarily a question. The thing that makes it a question is using the question form in the sentence. Do you understand?
yes.
Okay. So how will you say that? What kind of questions were the reporters asking? Can you try that again?
Was or where?
It's
Was
were.
where
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
okay. What kind of questions were the reporters asking?
What kind of questions were the reporters asking? Okay. And what is the answer, Mohammed? What kind of questions were the reporters asking?
The reporters were asking about were asking tough questions.
Okay, the reporters or the reporters?
The reporters.
Uh huh. Say
The reporters were asking about tough questions.
asking about. You can use ask plus about, which means you're asking details. Okay, but I think that's not what's happening here. The reporters are cornering the politician. They don't want details. They're just attacking. It's very direct, and I think that if you add the word about, that makes it very indirect. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's not use the word about. That's not aggressive enough for this situation. The reporters were at
The the reporters were asking tough questions.
the reporters were
Tough
asking
question.
tough questions. Tough questions.
The reporters were asking tough questions.
Okay, Mohammed, what kind of questions were the reporters asking? Or Pachu, what kind of questions were the reporters asking?
The reporters were asking tough questions.
The reporters were asking tough questions.
The reporters were asking tough
Yeah,
questions.
give the important words more attention. That's a pretty natural way of speaking English. The reporters were asking tough questions.
The reporters were asking tough questions.
All right. Well, that was our final vocabulary word for today. So
And thank you, sir.
thank you, everyone, for your questions and comments, and thank you for participating. And I hope to be back in about, I know I keep saying this and I never do, but I hope to be back in about, the problem is, I'm a morning person. I have no problem waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what I do. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning.
Uh,
But by the time it's time to do the second reading at around 5 o'clock for me, I'm already tired. I don't want to do anything. So I have to force myself to do that at nighttime. Okay, well I'll try. I'm going to try very hard to do that tonight. Okay, so I'll be
yeah.
back in about 8 hours or something like that, 8 or 9 hours. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Okay.
participation, and I will see you later.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.